I am back. Back at home, very excited. Hi, hello, welcome, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ev, and I like to talk about all things knitting on this channel. Now, I was in Turkey for 3 weeks, and I just got back yesterday. I sadly had to come back a little bit before to work and life. So I'm back, which I'm very excited. I am glad to be home, back in my own things. The trip was really nice, but you know, it's always nice to be back in your own little routine and world. If you've been following me along on my trip over on Instagram, you might know that sadly I had to say goodbye to a couple of my needles. In the end, I couldn't knit on my Cumulus blouse too much. I was able to connect it in the round, but that kind of put it on hold as these were the only needles in this size that I had. So right now my project is just on hold. If you're here, you know that I like knitting, so I still do want to knit on something. I thought, why not pick one of the yarns that I bought on my trip and cast on something new. So before I left, I made a video about all my queued items and what I would be searching for, what projects I would be searching yarn for. So the yarn that I chose is FibraNatura by Papyrus. It is 77% cotton, 23% silk, and a skein runs you 120 meters, 131 yards. So the reason why I really like this yarn, and I had never heard about it before, one of you guys actually recommended it to me. I decided to go with this one because I thought it had a really unique kind of twist to it. Silk and cotton kind of wrap around each other, and I just thought that it looked really fun, really bouncy. It's pretty soft for a cotton, and I can't wait to cast it on and knit it up. So I already bought the pattern over on Ravelry, and I already downloaded it on my iPad. So this pattern is by Midori Hirose, or Hirose, or Hirose. It's one of the most popular patterns on Ravelry. So many people have been knitting this one up. It's been knit 25,000 times, over 25,000 times. I wanted to see what all the excitement was about, so I thought that it would be a perfect pattern to cast on. I have no idea if it's because I'm tired. I have no idea if I am jet lagged. It is currently 4 p.m. The ribbing that I have just created right here, first off, this yarn works beautifully. This yarn is actually really soft. And I saw on Ravelry, a lot of people commented that it's almost like a silk resemblance. And I know that this actually has 23% silk, but it does feel very soft, like it has a higher silk content. The reason why I'm filming is because for some weird reason, I ended up using US 5 3.75 millimeter needles, which are too small. So I went to go and put it on and it doesn't fit. We're just gonna restart it. Yay. As I'm sitting here eating my bowl of yogurt because it's that time of the day, I just realized this kind of looks like oatmeal. It's literally the color of oatmeal. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm liking it, but we'll see, I guess. I'm gonna keep going, but it really, because it's like a frumpy, crumply, like little bouncy yarn, and the color, it genuinely looks like oatmeal. So hopefully knit up, and when I wear it, it won't look like I just threw oatmeal on myself. But anywho, I got the first part of the design sort of done right here, these little thingies. I ended up having to watch the video for it because the description said between the second and third stitch make a loop, but what I was doing was doing like an increase within, like, you know how you have 2 stitches and there's like that loop in between both stitches? I was picking that up and making a loop. And then when I looked at other people's knits, I realized they kind of had like a crisscross design going on, and I wasn't getting that. So I ended up having to go to Ravelry, and it turns out on Ravelry, if you scroll down, there is all of the videos to help you with all the techniques and tools that you need and all the methods. So that is very useful. So I watched a video, quickly got it, and then, so this line here is the same as this line here, except here you have an extra stitch because it is the yoke, so it just gets wider and wider. So as you work it up, more stitches get casted on. But yeah, 1 day's work, not too bad, not too bad. Also, I am not using the recommended needle size. I decided to go down 0.5. So instead of using 6, I'm using 5.5 millimeters, which is US 9. I also went ahead and used a smaller needle for the ribbing at the collar because I did the wide neck option, not the tubular option. So I just did a regular cast on, and then I wanted it to be a bit smaller, so I used smaller needles so it's a little bit more, you know, but yeah. Hi. Hello. I'm kind of wearing the exact same color that I'm knitting up, which is funny, but I just like this beige. This is the progress of my ranunculus. Not too bad. It looks like oatmeal, but it's not so oatmeal-y as I had originally thought. So I think it's going to work out in the end, and especially realizing that this color, it's a little bit more gray than this one, but it's like a similar tone. So I think it's going to work really well on me. So I'm just going to keep knitting, and yeah. I actually finished the yoke a couple days ago, but because I finished work at 6, and by the time I started filming and get set up, it's like 6:37, and as you guys know, in October, it gets dark really, really quickly. So here I am on my lunch break, and this is what I wanted to show you. So this is what the yoke looks like. I already put the stitch markers to split up for the sleeve, but now I can actually start the sleeves. I still haven't tried it on simply because the cable I'm working with is just too tight for my shoulders. So basically, I guess I'm kind of gonna be trying it on and seeing it alongside with you whenever that does happen. So I remember this pattern having quite a bit of positive ease, so hopefully that is still true. I just took this cable from another project that I was kind of working on because I wanted to try on the yoke, and honestly, my arms aren't in the armholes because I can't squeeze my arm in here. This yoke actually goes really, really deep. I didn't think, I don't know, I thought it would be like a lot higher up. So I'm glad that I made the big loose collar but on really small needles. I think it looks really, really nice and much more cinched in than like a really open loose collar. And my neighbor from across the street is just staring at me. I'm gonna go close the blinds, but yeah, this is what I... Hi! So it is actually, what day is it? I really should start looking time up before filming, but here I am. Okay, so we're Monday, October 7th at 7:25 p.m. and I kind of just decided I want to finish my ranunculus. I want to get this done this week. So the person that I'm following for like kind of what they did in their modification, I'm loosely following them. They split for the sleeves and did the sleeves first before finishing the body. So I think I'm going to leave the body as is for now. And I'm actually going to work one of the sleeve. They also were so kind and put in the notes the length of the sleeve they did, because they did a 3/4 sleeve. So I'm going to do that exact same length and then do the same I-cord bind off at the edge. I just really like this look. So I think that's what I'm going to do instead of following the actual pattern. So yeah. This is the kind of length that I want my sleeves. This is kind of what I'm aiming for and what I would like to get. I think mine might be a little bit longer. I noticed that because I'm using bigger needles than she is, my yoke runs a little bit deeper. Hers is a little bit higher and tighter, but I kind of like the deeper yoke. Her collar is also higher and such. So I really didn't knit much. If you look under the armpit. This is about how much I did, which is just a couple rows. Honestly, that might even be an inch, maybe 2 inches. Maybe 2 inches. And I think we're going to leave it. And I'm going to do an I-cord right now. And then that'll be my sleeve. Hi. So I just put on the shirt and this is what it looks like. The sleeves at least, because it is still on the needles. It's not, the dilemma now is kind of how long do I want the shirt to be, because right now it kind of fits like a crop top. But I think for this one, it would be better to have it longer, and then worst case is I can just tuck it in my pants or my skirt or whatever I'm wearing at that time. The problem is, because I am no longer following the exact like pattern, and what the person I'm following, like they knit on a different size needle than what I'm currently knitting on and with a different yarn. I'm kind of stuck on my own now to figure out how long I want this knit. So I'm really unsure. I think what I'm going to do is keep knitting till about my hip bone, which is like here. So my shirt can end up being like here. Yeah, that's 2 inches. So I have 2 more inches to knit. It looks like I have too much yarn. So this is the 3rd skein. And I started on the 4th skein for the sleeve, but I didn't even get halfway through that. So I'm pretty sure that 2 inches, I can use all this yarn in 2 inches. And I don't know what I'm going to do with the leftover yarn. What I did is I made a 4-stitch I-cord for the sleeve like the person I'm following had suggested. The only thing is mine, because she states to use the exact same needles that you're using for the original knit, not to go smaller, because I was knitting on a bigger needles and with a thicker yarn, I feel like it's like a little too big. I might go back and redo the I-cord with a smaller needle. That's the only thing I might do, just to tighten it up a little bit. I think it would be awesome if I could get this done before the end of the weekend, because this weekend is Thanksgiving, at least here in Canada, and I would love to have a brand new t-shirt for a new holiday. So yeah. Okay, so it's raining and it got really, really dark. But this yarn is really nice to work with. The only thing is, like, this is what happens. Because the yarn is so soft and so like smooth that in the cake, when you get to a certain point, it just falls apart. And this is like the amount of times that this, like every skein so far, this has happened. And then I have to, there's the end. Wow. That just took like no time. It took no time. Hi, hello. Hopefully you can hear me and the cars aren't too loud. I'm on my way to go pick up a pie from the office because for Thanksgiving they're giving us pies and I've never had pumpkin pie, so I ordered one. Hopefully it's good. A very quick little outfit check. It's very cold today, so I am wearing a coat. Yeah, let's go get a pie. I just got back from picking up my pie and I got a pumpkin pie. This will be my very first time eating a pumpkin pie. In the past, I've had other pies and all my friends at work were telling me, you need to try pumpkin. So I decided to go with pumpkin. So this is the final knit, what it looks like. You all should be very, very proud of me because all the ends are 100% weaved in. There's nothing left. I did it this morning. And this is what it looks like. In the end, I ended up going with about this length. My hip bone is like here. I also think for this one right now, I might actually leave it as is and not wash and block it simply because I love the fit. I don't want it to become looser. I don't want it to drape more, and I'm scared that that's what's gonna happen. So I think till it gets to a point where I should wash it, like normal wear, you know, and tear. Not tear, but normal wearing. I think I'm just gonna leave it as is for now and just enjoy the size and how it fits. I feel like this fits perfectly as is and I wouldn't want it to change. I wouldn't want the sleeves to get longer. The only thing that would be nice with blocking is like the rolling of the I-cord wouldn't happen as much. In the end, I am extremely happy with how this ranunculus turned out and I might even cast on another one, maybe the mohair edition or maybe a really chunky sweater. I don't know just yet, but I now completely understand the hype behind this pattern. It was super engaging, very quick to knit up, and it was actually a really fun knit. So if I have convinced you guys to cast on your own ranunculus, let me know in the comments section down below. Or if I maybe convinced you to knit a second one, again, I'm really curious and I would like to hear from you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I had a really fun time making it and thank you so much for joining me and stopping by, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!